Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
There's a lot about Sarah and Tara that's exactly alike. They drink the same coffee, they have the same great job, and they both have a high-quality education. The only difference? Sarah spent her first 2 years at Carroll Community College, getting the same exceptional education, but at less than half the cost. So while Tara uses her paycheck to make student loan payments, Sarah can use hers for other things, like going out for coffee. Get started at carrollcc.edu.
Carroll Indoor Sports Center, celebrating its 30th season. 66,000 square feet of fields and courts. Rain or shine, multiple soccer and lacrosse leagues. Artificial turf fields and courts to rent. Party rooms and snack bar available. Summer camp for the kids. Safe indoor environment for athletes of all ages. Carroll Indoor Sports Center. Your sport, anytime.
At Absolute Landscape, we believe that a great landscape is about transforming a space to exceed every expectation. From intricate hardscapes to lush green gardens, our goal is to bring vision to life. Creating outdoor environments for our clients, we offer services from design to installation and maintenance of your outdoor space. Enjoyment all year round is what Absolute Landscapes is all about.
CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's to Go, Carroll Links, Carroll Indoor Sports Center, and Absolute Landscapes. You're watching the Central Maryland Sports Network, a community media center programming service.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. It is a glorious day for some Carroll County baseball. We've got Westminster hosting Century and a very pivotal county matchup. I'm Pat Stoetzer alongside Michael Duffy, Supervisor of Athletics for Carroll County Public Schools. Michael.
Baseball game. What we certainly expect will be a good baseball game. I think you're right. Between the Westminster Owls hosting Century Knights.
Yep, senior day here at Westminster High School's baseball field. They're announcing their seniors and giving them some recognition. While they do, we can talk about the matchup we're about to see. The Knights are 8-4 overall and 5-2 in Carroll County. They have won 5 of their last 6 games. One of those was a no-hitter thrown by today's starter, Chase Speed. We're going to talk more about him in a moment. Westminster shares the same record as Century, 8-4, 5-2 in the CCAL. The Owls had won 5 of 6 games before starting the week. Liberty handed them a 7-3 loss on Monday. Century beat Westminster 10-2 when the teams met. And that's actually Westminster beat Century 10-2. I take that back. When the teams first met in Eldersburg back on April 2nd, Will Molman went 4 for 5 that day with a home run and 5 RBIs. Over to the updated Carroll County baseball standings. Everyone looking up at Liberty right now, but this game is huge because both Century and Westminster have to play the Lions once more before the end of the
really important. They're in different regions, different classifications, so they're both also trying to maintain, keep in that regional race too, get a solid seed to play as many games at home as you can.
Correct. Some team stats now as we get set to play ball here in a few minutes. You're going to see Century scoring about 6.3 runs per game, while Westminster at 7.3. So these teams can score runs. The Knights have the better pitching in terms of runs allowed to this point in the season. Again, Westminster put a 10 spot on Century back when they played in round 1. It was a cold day in Eldersburg, a little bit cloudy, but we know that both offenses can score regardless of the pitching matchup. Although today I think it's going to be a pretty good one with Speed on the mound for Century.
Yeah, I think so. He's coming off just such a huge win with that no-hitter over Man Valley. So that's it'll be interesting to see if he pulls a Johnny Vandermeer and goes back-to-back no-hitters or not.
Hadn't happened in a while.
There you go. I figured I'd pull that one out.
That's a good one. I like that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be really interesting. Westminster's countering
Garrett Denkenberger
Yeah.
pitched today. Yep.
and he's not their ace, but he's solid starter for the Owls. And they're looking to they want to try and continue that that win, build off that first win over Century. And it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Players to watch matchup for today, and we've got Ben Welsh of Century and Will Molman, the aforementioned Will Molman of Westminster. Molman leading the team in batting average and RBIs. He has 5 doubles as well. Welsh has 3 doubles this season for the Knights alongside his 3 home runs and his 11 RBIs. And we're going to see many more players, but that's the players we wanted to highlight before the game started. I would expect both of those young men to shine today, Michael, if given the chance for their teams.
No, I think that's probably a smart call. We tend to find that the best players shine at these kind of moments, and that's certainly what both Westminster and Century are hoping that their stars will shine from.
Taking a look now at some of the Senior Day festivities. The Owls in their all-blue uniforms, and they'll recognize their seniors with their parents and family and friends. And then we will be getting close to the national anthem, and then we will have first pitch in just a few moments between Century and Westminster on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Usually it's a lacrosse game in the spring, but we branched out last spring, gave you a Game of the Week. It was a doozy between Liberty and Century last year. May 1st of 2024, I believe it was 10-9. That was the final score. Liberty held off Century. It was a great game, back and forth in Eldersburg, and then we came here for a playoff game. A little bit of a dreary day a couple weeks later, about a week or so later, and Westminster fell short against Tuscarora. So that was the last time the Owls played, the last game last year that the Owls played on this field. So now, fast forward almost a year, and again, both teams sit at 8-4 and 5-2. So the winner of this game, Michael, really has second place to themselves, and with that motivation of, hey, if we can knock off Liberty, which has 1 loss, we're right there in terms of the county championship race.
No, absolutely.
It was just a few games to go.
Yeah, it's a great point you make. That they're putting themselves in solid position in second place, and also giving themselves an opportunity. The winner of this game, giving themselves an opportunity, to possibly topple Liberty,
sure,
and take over the county lead.
Yeah, I would probably have to share it with them since they've played them once apiece here, and Liberty has beaten them twice. They had 1 loss. Liberty's 1 loss, I believe, was Winners Mill a few weeks ago.
That is.
We talked about this on our Score and More podcast too, and just when we're in passing with each other, that how competitive some of these sports can really be when you get into the nitty-gritty of the season. And I think Carroll County baseball this year has proven it.
No, it is. I agree with that. From everything we've seen, Liberty is the cream of the crop.
They are.
They have lost a game. They lost to, you expect they're going to lose to probably number 2 or 3, but Winners Mill, I think, sitting in 4th place.
Yeah.
And, they handed them a loss. Winners Mill's been kind of a little bit of a surprise
Feisty
this year.
No doubt.
They've played everybody pretty tough, and they do have the lone victory over Liberty.
They do.
In fact, I believe it's the only loss on the year for Liberty. So it's not just loss within the county, but overall. But both of these teams are kind of solidly in second place, as we've seen. And
yes,
one of them is going to get the leg up, moving towards a potential rematch, or a definite rematch, but a potential that rematch with Liberty is going to mean more for the county championship.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You were right, Michael. With Liberty at 10-1, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row since that loss to Winners Mill, which was way back in March 20th. So they're undefeated in the month of April. Wins against South Carroll, Man Valley, Century, Winners Mill the second time, and also beating Franklin last Tuesday before they beat Westminster on Monday. Here, 7-3 in a game that the Lions had to come from behind and kind of rally late and pull away from the Owls. So that game fresh in their mind. The Owls want to get revenge here. And first things first is trying to beat Century, who they did beat the first time handily, 10-2.
Right.
So it looks like teams will come out to the baselines, and we'll have the national anthem, and then we're moments away from the first pitch. You see Century in the dark jerseys, the white pants. Owls, like I mentioned, all in the blue, and we will pause now for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. fouls will line up. Their starters will take the field on defense with Century batting first, but now we'll get set for the national anthem. So it's Century and Westminster are moments away from first pitch. The Knights led by Coach Chris Poe. Westminster led by former Westminster star pitcher Brandon Taylor. Of course, Mark Weinbrunner is still part of the staff, and he coached the team for several years. And Garrett Dankenberger is on the hill for Westminster. 1-1 with 11 strikeouts so far, only 2 walks. And like Michael, like you mentioned, hasn't pitched a ton of innings yet, but settled in as one of their reliable pitchers with 3.32 ERA for Dankenberger. Played on last year's team a little bit, and we saw him in the game last year in the playoff game against Tuscarora, not on the mound, but definitely in the game. And you know, it's going to be as the case with all levels of baseball, is what I'm trying to say. Easy for me to say. Strikes. You know, trying to get ahead of the guys as early as possible.
Most important pitch in baseball is strike one.
Yes, it is.
And so when it happens.
Did you make that up?
Maybe not. think I've heard that.
And no place more so than high school baseball, where pitching's at a premium. Obviously most pitching is a premium at most levels, but at the high school level, a good pitcher that can throw strikes is definitely an asset.
So he wants to throw strikes, wants to throw early, and also wants to minimize. I mean, in high school, a lot of times, if you're not going to strike out everybody, then, pitching to contact is going to be more helpful. Rely on defense so that you've got an opportunity to go deeper into games, because there is a hard pitch count in high school baseball.
Correct. Landon Mansfield is the catcher today for Westminster, so he'll make up half the battery, at least for now, for the start with Dankenberger. Mansfield throws down.
And leading off for the Knights, we have third baseman Ethan Baker.
Correct. Junior number 11 with the white helmet. He'll step in on the right side. And it's almost game time. Feels good to be back watching some baseball for CMSportsNet Game of the Week as Ethan Baker steps in the box. And here we go. First pitch is ball 1.
And he fouls off. 1-1 count now.
Baker hit .289 hitter this year, 3 doubles, and does have 1 home run, I believe, for the Knights. So a table setter, at least that's the goal here.
Looks like it's going to be a little out.
Yep, gets out of play. So 1-2. Dankenberger looking to get the first batter of the game out.
Just off the plate.
Might have fooled him a little bit, but called a ball. So 2-2 now. The count. Foul tip in front of the plate. Good job by Baker.
Just a tiny bit of contact.
Good job to get a piece of that.
Because he got completely fooled on the pitch. So getting a little bit of contact kept him alive.
Looked like Dankenberger went back to the same pitch, the off-speed pitch.
Still 2-2.
Yep, see what he does here. 2-2 is the count.
And he got him. Gets him with the strikeout.
So good start for Westminster, and that'll bring up Dom Califano, the center fielder today. Number 7, he's a junior. And he'll step in. And there's off speed again.
And take strike one.
The stats would tell you that Dankenberger's got pretty good command with just the 2 walks. Yes, it hasn't been too many innings pitched, but still, that's over a game and a half or so of innings, and he only has the 2 walks against his 11 strikeouts. So good contact pitcher and a good pitcher for command-wise.
Yes, that's huge.
1-1, that's in the dirt. Be 2-1 now. Here's the pitch. Fouled away.
Fouled that pretty much straight back.
On deck is Ben Welsh. Next pitch. Got him with the off speed. So back-to-back strikeouts. Two outs now, and here is Ben Welsh. Playing shortstop today for the Knights.
As he has every game this season.
That's what I've heard. Little upstairs for ball 1. That's always good too, to have your strength up the middle, which is what most teams want to build upon, and to have someone as reliable as that can play every game so far. 12 games at short, pretty demanding position.
Yep.
Bounced in the dirt, 2-0. So Welsh ahead in the count now, 2-0. It's the first time that Dankenberger's had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone.
Yeah, looks like he's been a little cautious with Welsh.
Shot down to third. Oh, couldn't get it scooped up. Welsh is going to take second. So Will Molman with a bit of a low throw.
And I think Maddox Stonecipher thought it was going to bounce a little bit, but it's going to be he's going to get on. Ben Welsh will get on by an E5.
I think that's the right call. That does give the Knights a runner in scoring position with
nice
2 outs.
Yeah, it was a nice backhanded stop by Will Molman, but just did not finish on the throw.
Welsh was hustling, so you had to give the throw a little bit quicker, and that might have sped it up. And here's Chase Speeden.
First time we get to see Dankenberger out of the stretch.
Correct. Again, that's a big play. We'll see if that pays off for the Knights. That Welsh was able to take second on the throw that got by the first baseman. Dankenberger ahead, 0-1.
Just a little low on that one. So 1-1 count.
We talked about Speeden Clarion bound Chase Speeden, no-hitter last week, 14 strikeouts in that game. He's also hitting .378. He's got 2 doubles and 2 home runs, so a fine year so far for Chase Speeden.
See, Denkenberger, when he's missing, he's just missing by a little bit.
Taking a long time here. That's inside. 2-1. Welsh did not go. The ball got away from Mansfield momentarily, but not too far away. Denkenberger from the stretch. It's outside.
3-1.
So after the first 2 batters struck out, Welsh got on base by error, throwing error, and now he's ahead. Denkenberger is on Chase Speeden, 3 balls and 1 strike, the cleanup hitter here in the top of the first.
And that's going to foul over the dugout, over the visitors' dugout.
So that'll make the count full. Three and 2. Century trying to break through here in the first inning of our game of the week. And that's
going to be
fouled out of play. Foul, yes, that's going to be out of bounds. Out of play, rather.
So he fooled Speeden a little bit. Had a very defensive swing.
He did.
But kept himself alive.
And served it down the line here.
Let's see what Berger can put up for his second 3-2 pitch. Payoff pitch.
Speeden into left field, base hit.
Sneaks it through the side.
And just like that, the error comes back to bite Westminster. It'll be an unearned run, but it is a run nonetheless as Speeden drives in Welsh. Century has a 1-0 lead. And now it's Hunter Elrod, pardon me. The right fielder today, number 17. Number 5 hitter, throw back to first just to keep Speeden a little bit honest. Elrod, a senior outfielder. He is playing right today. That's upstairs.
Speeden, unsuggested.
Speeden without a throw, so stolen base for Speeden on that high pitch. And now suddenly Denkenberger's lost a little bit of that command he had the first 2 batters.
Correct.
That's high too. So 2-0. Good crowd on hand today for senior day here at Westminster High School. A lot of activity here as well on campus. Softball game behind us. Track practice was earlier.
Tennis match taking place.
That's outside, 3-0.
Fooled him a little bit, but he did hold up. Elrod did.
It's a good day for some spring sports here in Carroll County.
Yes. All right, 3-0, Kim.
3-0 with Speeden at second. Got a strike in there, so 3-1 now. He's on the precipice of that 3rd walk of the season, and you don't want to let this lineup get too many times around. You want to try to minimize this damage. Three and 1. That's upstairs.
He does get the base on balls.
He does. So the command has lost, or I should say Denkenberger has lost a little bit of that command, and now the Knights with runners on first and second.
Senior second baseman Colin Grimsley coming up now.
Yep, number 4, another right-handed batter for Century, and Denkenberger trying to shut this down. ball.
They throw behind.
Yeah, threw behind.
But Speeden then took off for third and made it without a throw.
So Westminster a little lackadaisical with the defense here, and now 90 feet closer to scoring position is Chase Speeden, and it's a 1-0 count to Grimsley. Grimsley calls time, and Denkenberger needs to settle down. Pitch. Called a strike.
A little bit of a play at a bunt.
Elrod feigned going to second and came back, so he didn't go too far. But the first and third high school rule, well, not rule, but maybe rule of thumb is usually that first base runner will take off for second.
To try and draw a throw.
Correct. Doesn't go.
Another high pitch.
2-1. So ahead of the count, Grimsley. Now the runner goes, ball's up. They do throw down, but it's more of a throw in front of the bag, and it's 3-1. Now to Grimsley, and now there's runners on second and third. So Mansfield will go out and talk to Denkenberger, and he really has been a different pitcher since that error.
Yeah.
Could have potentially gotten him out of the inning, 1-2-3. Instead, that error caused the first run of the game to come around, and now the Knights threatening again.
Haven't watched Westminster enough to know if that's as a result of the error, if he's just not as comfortable pitching out of the stretch. So he goes back to the windup.
He can now with
3-1.
Right, 3-1 and runners on second and third. And that's ball four. So not an easy opener here for Garrett Denkenberger. And Brandon Taylor comes out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Bring the whole infield to the mound. Not the way you want to start this game if you're the Owls.
No, not at all.
Especially knowing that Chase Speeden will be warming up here momentarily, well, when the Knights take the field on defense. So coming off the game he just had, it would stand to reason he's looking for another good outing, and Denkenberger's just trying to get out of this jam. And at the plate now is catcher Johnny Rikus, number 6. He's a junior for Century. And it is bases loaded for the Knights. And first pitch strike, so that's a relief there for Denkenberger and the Owls. An error, a single, 2 walks in this inning so far. 0-1 is the count. Fouled away, so there we go, 0-2 now. And that's got to make you feel good if you're Denkenberger, just to get ahead of a batter at this point.
No, absolutely it does, but he still wants to be careful, doesn't want to, just put one over the plate. But he has a few pitches he can, I don't want to say waste, but doesn't have to throw great strikes.
Tried to fool him there, and Rikus did a good job to fight it off. But Denkenberger definitely has the fastball off-speed mix. He's trying to go through a few pitches here to fool these batters.
Yes.
Did a good job with the first 2 hitters.
Still has an 0-2 count on the
Yes, he does. And from the windup. Got him. So a good pitch to get out of the jam. Only
so he
one
strikes
run.
out the side.
He does.
But gives up. But they get a run on 1 hit, 1 error, and did leave the bases loaded.
They did.
Let's see if that Century. Hope that doesn't come back. We'll hope that does not come back to hurt them.
We'll be back in a moment with the bottom of the first on our CMSportsNet Game of the Week, Century and Westminster. Welcome back, CMSportsNet Game of the Week. The Knights leading the Owls here 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Maddox Stoetzer, Jaden Cedeno, and Will Molman scheduled to face Century pitcher Chase Speeden. And Michael, we talked about Speeden, and we're maybe in for a treat here based on what he did just a week ago against Manchester Valley.
Yep. Certainly see how he comes back from the no-hitter. He's the first one right by Stoetzer.
Swinging strike, Maddox Stoetzer.
And quickly 0-2.
Stoetzer, one of 4 sophomores, make it 5 sophomores on the roster. So a young squad. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Not a bad start for Speeden.
Not at all. And up comes Jaden Cedeno.
He's a junior. He is playing
Center
left
today.
field.
Oh, you're right.
Wearing number 8.
Sorry.
It's okay. And our first left-handed batter of the day. And a rip
I believe
to
the
right,
no-hitter is
and
gone.
it's down for a hit. And just like that, Cedeno wasted no time. Laced it to right center, got down, and it's a double for Jaden Cedeno. And funny, Johnny Rikas, the catcher, coming out already to talk to Speeden, so maybe there was miscommunication there on that first pitch.
Right. Now, a really great stroke by Cedeno.
It was.
Right into right center, and he took off running from the get-go. There was no doubt in his mind he was going for 2.
So that's the approach there, right? That's 4 pitches and 4 strikes for Speeden. Obviously, it counts as a strike. And you know Will Molman's on deck, and so I want to get on base if I'm Cedeno. He does a really good job there after Maddox goes down 1-2-3.
Right.
And now it is Will Molman, and he has the first pitch to short. That's going to advance the runner. So good job by Molman in that regard, but 1 pitch in the second out. The runner does get to third. That was Welsh, the shortstop, making the play, and this will bring up Paul Burgee. Coming off a really solid basketball winter season for the sophomore, number 20. He is the shortstop today for Westminster, and he steps in with the runner at third base. And another strike. I don't think we've had a ball thrown yet from Chase Speeden in this inning anyway.
I think that
the
is
first
the first
one?
one.
So 1-1, 2 outs. Cedeno, the runner at third after the double, as Burgee swings and misses on strike 2. So Speeden trying to get out of it. Burgee trying to get the Owls on the board. That's ball 2. A little outside, I think. Speeden working pretty quick. Baseball watcher's best friend if you like pitching.
Absolutely.
And a dribbler foul down the third base line. Look out, everybody.
Coach Taylor's going to need to work on his fielding.
Yeah, well, he was a pitcher, so he's probably more used to being on the mound. But you know what? Look, he did his best to at least slow it down before it got to the fans, and I think he did a good job. So 2-2 is the count, and Speeden is ready again. And Burgee lines it softly to second base. So the Owls get a base runner. We're going to the top of the second. The Owls strand that runner at third. And we will step aside momentarily and come right back with the top of the second right after this. Don't go away. Game of the week. All right, welcome back. Pat Stoetzer, Michael Duffy at Westminster High School as we start the top of the second inning. Chase Speeden got out of the jam he was in to get the Owls, or retire the Owls and get the Knights back up to bat. And the number 8 hitter, Austin Scholes, will step in. And Dankenberger's first pitch is a ball.
We'll see how Dinkenberger bounces back from that first inning. A little bit of adversity.
No doubt. Scholes swings and misses, so there's a strike. And a foul tip off to the third base side, makes it 1-2. Oh, pardon me, first base side.
You're good.
These two teams, see Austin Scholes in the box. He played basketball this year too. We mentioned Paul Burgee. These two teams shared the county championship in basketball, and here we are, 2 months later, and we're got a pivotal game here between the two baseball teams. And that ball's in the dirt.
0-2.
Century's been very successful baseball program over the last decade, really, if you go back to their state championship years.
Yes.
And Chris Poe does a good job. Mike Morale before him.
A little outside. So we get a full count.
We do. Baseball state titles don't come around all that often in Carroll County, and Century, Westminster has 2 of them in their history. Century's got the 1. And South Carroll's won some. Liberty's got a state title.
All right, payoff pitch from Dinkenberger.
Swing and a miss.
And he gets the K.
his fourth of the game. And Ryan Evans, the number 9 hitter, the only sophomore on the roster. He is the left fielder today. And he bats 9th here in the top of the second. And Dankenberger found his groove again. There's a chopper to third. Called it.
Looks like initially got called fair, but the umpire got a better look and called it foul.
I was thinking maybe he said foul but pointed fair. Either way, it's a strike.
Not quite sure exactly. It did look like he pointed fair, but
he might have also been pointing down. But you know what? It's a foul ball.
There we
strike
go.
1.
Good call.
This
That is
time,
not
lace to left, and that's going to get down. And Ryan Evans is off to the races.
He's going to pull in with a stand-up double.
Tracked down by Cedeno, but not before Evans doubles down the left field line. Good on the sophomore. And that turns lineup over again, and it's Ethan Baker, the leadoff hitter, with a runner in scoring position.
Baker was a strikeout victim just an inning ago. Started off the game with a swinging strike 3.
Dankenberger has to go back to the stretch, like Michael talked about, maybe favoring the windup more, but
just a little off. Looks like he's not missing by much.
No, he's not. The middle of that first inning, though, he did have some trouble locating in the balls in the dirt.
Yeah, or
things
control
like that.
issues.
But he gathered himself, struck out the last batter, and then struck out the first batter this inning. But then Ryan Evans greeted him with a double down the left field line. There's a foul ball down the third base side. I got it right. It's 1-1. And there's a shot to center. That's caught by Burgee.
Great play by Burgee.
Boy, he came from the shaded from the left side of second, and a line out to short. A big out too.
Yeah, that looked like it was clearly headed for center field.
Agreed.
Burgee had a nice running jump, caught it in stride, and got to give credit to Evans, who was able to stay close enough to second.
Indeed.
That would have been an easy way to try and get an early start.
He would have been a doubled up victim for sure. Now it's Dom Califano with 2 outs.
He was also a strikeout victim in the first.
That ball's in the dirt. Nice stop by Mansfield to keep Evans at second. Junior Dom Califano, center fielder today.
Step off by Dankenberger.
Califano stepped out as well. Now we're back, ready to go. 1-0 is the count. And he found the strike zone there.
1-1.
Fisted foul down the first base line.
Not by much.
Not by much indeed.
Yeah, it's like just off the handle of the bat, right down the first baseline.
And that puts Dankenberger ahead of the count, 1-2.
Alfano looking for a 2-out hit, put the Knights up 2-0.
Grounder. Oh, nice
Right
stop by
into
Molman and a good throw to first. Nice
That was a
play.
really nice play by Will Molman. He almost looked a little surprised to see the ball in his glove, but great job. Good pickup, great throw, and ends the inning there.
Sure does. No runs, 1 hit. They leave a runner. We'll take a break and be right back. CMSportsNet Game of the Week as Westminster gets set to bat in the bottom of the second. right, welcome back. CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Pat Stoetzer, Michael Duffy from Westminster High School. 1-0 Century. Owls coming up to bat. And it's Chase Taylor, designated hitter today.
Yeah. Taylor, Vincent, Weinbrunner.
Taylor, one of their top pitchers this season. Ball one. Fouled off.
Fouled off down the right field line.
1-1 the count.
A little outside.
So 2-1 now. Speeding, we mentioned he's working quick. That's 3-1. So first time he's had a little trouble locating the strike zone. He pumps at a strike. So we're full now. Fouled away.
Taylor's putting up with the battle.
So Speeding is working quick. But yes, Taylor is battling. Grounder, first base. And taking it himself is Scholes.
Nice play there.
One.
Another left-hander.
Number 4, senior. Nice when everybody gets a walk-up song when you're Westminster. And a soft fly to center, but that's easy for out number 2.
Can corn for California.
1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up sophomore Ryan Weinbrunner, second baseman today, number 6. No, actually, take that back. Mansfield batting.
All right.
Guess they flipped it around on us. But I do see Weinbrunner on deck. So Mansfield batting 7th.
And takes a strike.
It's 1-1. Foul ball. So 1-2 now.
Speeding, working fast again.
It's got to be there. Strike 3.
It's a strikeout looking.
So quick work. Owls go down 1-2-3. And we're through 2. Century leads 1-0. We'll take a break on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. right, we're back, and we are starting the top of the third. And ball 1 to Welsh. 1-0 Century.
Welsh reached on in the first on an error by third baseman Will Molman.
And he gets a strike call there.
No, he didn't. He started, the umpire flinched. He did not call the strike.
All right.
He started to, it looked like.
2-0.
I got him a strike.
2-1 now.
Manuel scored the only run of the game so far after he reached on that error in the first.
Grounder Molman all the way across the diamond.
Great play by Will Molman.
Back-to-back good plays by Will Molman. Solid in the field and solid at the plate is Will Molman. Headed to Frostburg next year to play baseball. And Welsh is the first out, and that brings up Speeden. And he drove in the only run of the game so far.
Correct. It's the only hit of the game. Or no, there's 2 hits now for the Century. Had the only hit of that first inning. And they sent 7 to the plate.
Called the ball.
And they appeal down to first, and he confirms it's ball.
Speeden lines one to left. So he's 2 for 2. Having himself a nice day.
That brings us to Hunter Elrod.
Yep, Elrod coming up. Speeden on first. Top of the third. Speeden going. An easy ball gets into center, but I don't think Speeden's going to head to third. That's the second steal, as that ball was in the dirt for ball 1. And Speeden was off no matter what that pitch was going to be.
Correct.
So 1 out now and another runner in scoring position for Century. Dinkenberger gets a strike call there. 1-1. Strike 2. Good pitch. One and 2. Good pick by Molman.
It's another really good pick. Will Molman is playing a great third base.
He is.
He's kicking himself for the one errant throw, but he's made 3 spectacular plays that were not gimmies.
Right, and that keeps the runner at second. Speeden had to dive back to second just in case Molman tried to throw behind him, but 2 outs now, and now Grimsley the batter. He walked his first time up. Dinkenberger almost out of this jam. We'll see if he can get out of it. He's gotten some help on defense for sure. In the dirt.
Good start by Mansfield.
It was. He's had a couple of those so far in this one.
Scoop by Burgee. Gets him by half step.
Nice job by Westminster there. Dankenberger gets out of the jam. No runs, 1 hit. They leave a runner. Nice ground outs, all 3, and 2 good ones from Molman. We are going to the bottom of the 3rd. We'll pause here on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week.
All right, welcome back. We are ready for the bottom of the 3rd. Leading off for Westminster is Ryan Weinbrunner, the second baseman today.
Yep, a little switcheroo there on us with the lineup.
Takes the ball high, ducking out of the way. Chase pumps in a strike, and 1-1 count. And yeah, Weinbrunner could not hold up his swing, so he's got a 1-2 count now.
And swing and a miss.
Speeden had him out in front on that one. John Davia, the right fielder. And then back to the top of the order.
Little high, ball 1.
He held up his swing, peeled down to first, confirms he held up. It's John Davia with a 2-0 count, good hitters count. Chase Speeden wants to get right back into it. He does.
Got him straight.
Just putting it right over the plate. Nice fastball.
Impressed with the way Speeden is handling this lineup the first time through.
Yes, I'm also impressed with his pacing. I mean, he's just going out and, for the most part, just pumping in strikes.
Could not hold up, and that's strike 2. We were talking during one of the breaks, Michael, and Speeden doesn't have the traditional full wind-up and delivery, but whatever he's doing out there is doing a good job with it.
It's very effective.
And he has the look of a power pitcher.
So the ball's a little out. So he's got a 2-2 count.
Might be 3-2.
Okay, you're right. It was 2-0. Yep. You're right. Payoff pitch.
Got him.
And he gets him
Got
looking.
him looking.
And we go back to the top of the order.
The 4th strikeout for Speeden. And the card flips over, and Maddox Stoetzer, who was the first strikeout victim, gets the second crack here in the bottom of the 3rd. Second and third time around, sometimes the offense gets the favor, but Speeden might make it tough here today. He looks like he's got that same, ball 1, but he has that same form, I'm going to say, that he probably had against Man Valley.
Swinging strike on Stoetzer.
Cedeno had the best approach, just took that first one and lined it into right center for that double back in the first inning. Of course, Speeden stranded him at third. The only threat so far for Westminster.
All two.
Outside.
All three.
His third 3-ball count of the day so far. He had a 3-2 count in the second, and he just had one against Duffy before striking him out. But this 3-1 here against Stoetzer. Ball 4.
So the Owls get their second base runner of the day.
Speed not really close in that one, that at bat. But here's Cedeno, who actually had a hit in the first inning. The Johnny Vandermeer record will have to wait. Got it out of the way quick. And here's Cedeno, who took a high pitch and lined it into right center his first time up for a double. Called strike. 0-1 is the count.
Ball outside.
1-1. Speed working from the stretch for just the second time here today. Curveball found its way to the strike zone.
Soft Speed puts him up. Got a 1-2 count now.
Yep, Speeding ahead. 2 outs. Stoetzer the runner at first. 1 and 2. Cedeno.
He's going.
Cedeno lines one to center.
2.
This time it's caught. Califano comes over from center, makes the catch. So Cedeno put 2 good bats on the ball, but this one resulted in an out. And we've played 3 full. Century 1, Westminster nothing. We'll step aside on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. All right, welcome back. CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Westminster High School, Carroll County baseball today on Wednesday, April 23rd, as Century and Westminster lock horns here. The Knights lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. And it's the bottom half of the order to face Garrett Denkenberger. It'll be Rikus, Schulz, and Evans coming up for the Knights.
Rikus a strikeout victim in the second, or excuse me, to end the first.
And Denkenberger, you know, he had a little bit of that command problems in the first inning. Since then, he settled down. Speeden had the single, and of course, his defense has helped him out. I mean, we saw 3 plays, really good plays by Will Molman at third. There's a strike. And then we saw a nice play by Paul Burgee to end that last inning. So Denkenberger's settled in a little bit here, and it's 1-0.
Yep. Yeah, he has.
It feels like it could be worse with the way it started out.
Yeah, I feel like, Speeden on the mound has looked the part that we expected, but Denkenberger's doing a great job of keeping the Knights off balance.
Big one hop to Molman.
And yeah,
and the first baseman fell on the bag.
Stoetzer barely got his foot down inside and barely touched, put down in time and barely touched the bag. But he does get the out. Good job on Stoetzer to corral the high throw. That brings up Austin Scholes. Was also a strikeout victim and to start to open up the second.
Scholes sends one to right.
One's deep.
Over everybody's head, up against the wall. Austin Scholes will cruise into second.
Yeah, he'll have a nice stand-up double. He got all of that, took it right to the wall.
So Schultz with a long double to right.
Brings up Ryan Evans, who had a double to left.
He did.
In the top of the second.
So Knights trying to get right back on the board after 2 innings of no runs. That's just their 4th hit so far. And Evans will settle in. Dingenberger checking the runner.
Scholes has a very modest lead. Doesn't look like he's going. I think Dingenberger may have just wanted to reset. Evans holds up, takes the ball high.
Upstairs for the ball. One and 0. Good pitch by Dingenberger for strike.
Dingenberger has a very deliberate process from the stretch, and he certainly likes to wait a while. I think he was trying to ensure that the runners aren't getting off too early, so he's really pausing.
Again, like you said, Michael, not missing by too much.
2-1 count on Ryan Evans.
Come on now.
In the dirt.
Nice scoop by Mansfield. He's done a really good job of keeping everything in front
He has. Nothing's gotten behind him yet.
It's so huge when you've got a runner already in scoring position.
Oh, no doubt.
One count.
Evans chops one foul. And we get a full count.
By Coach Poe. The ball stopped rolling, but he did pick it up.
Full count. Runner at second. 1 out. Top of inning number 4. Evans again to left. This time tracked down by Cedeno. So 2 times now, Evans has put a charge into it. There are 2 outs and another big out gotten by Dingenberger.
Yeah.
And Baker, Ethan Baker up again now. This is the 3rd time. And the lineup card goes in the top. And Baker takes a strike.
Baker starts him off with a nice fastball right over the plate. But you can see the pause he gets when he comes fully set.
Yep.
He is not quick to the plate.
The anti-speeding. But it works for Dingenberger.
Oh, absolutely.
That ball
Again, another good scoop. Mansfield is really earning his keep in the back as a backstop. He's doing a great job today.
He has.
Because there have been quite a few pitches in the dirt that could easily have gotten by, and he scooped them up each time, or kept them in front at least.
Yeah, and in Westminster, there's room back there, so runners can certainly advance, but none yet. 1-1 count. Baker in the high sky. Who wants it? It is Cedeno.
Cedeno, yeah.
In fair territory, I believe. And that's the final out. So Degenberger gets out of trouble. And we'll go to the middle of the fourth. The Owls will come up. Down 1-0. We'll take a break on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back. We're getting set for the bottom of the fourth inning as Chase Speeden throws his final warm-up pitch. Rikas throws down to second.
Speeden's been efficient with only giving up the 1 walk and the 1 hit. And then comes Will Molman to lead off the bottom of the fourth.
Molman grounded out. First, he only had 1 pitch.
Takes the ball outside. Ball low. Definitely a nice hitter's count for Will Molman. It's going to be fouled out of play down the left field line. All right, the 2-1. And a liner down the right field line for Will Molman, which winds up going all the way to the wall. And he's going to run in a stand-up double.
Good job by Molman, right down the right field line. So the Owls have their first hit since the first inning. It's a big one, a double by Will Molman. And now the cleanup hitter, Paul Berge, steps in.
It's also the first time they've had a runner, their leadoff runner on. First inning, they got one on with 1 out. And in the third inning, they got the walk with 2 outs. So they want to certainly try and bring one of these across.
Foul tip into the mitt, and right away 0-2. And Speeden works just as fast from the stretch as he does from the windup. He's wasting no time up there. Little outside. Ball 1. Berge lined out to second. His first time up back in the first inning. And the Knights shading him to pull the ball.
And that's going to be fouled out our way. A little over our heads.
Over our heads. We're in good shape.
But he was definitely fooled and was behind on that one.
I told you if we get a screaming ball come this way, I'm going to need you to protect me.
Shall do my best.
Do the best you can. And time is called as Johnny Rikas goes out to talk to the pitcher. 1-2 is the count. He lines in the right field base hit. They're going to hold Bowman. Nice job by Rikas. Going to cut that off. They held Bowman up. And Bergie lined the ball into right for a hit. So he's got a single, and now the Owls have first and third with no outs.
Yeah, they certainly don't want to run into that first out at home plate when there are no outs yet in the game. Or in the inning.
In the inning, right, and now the number 5 hitter comes up, the DH, Chase Taylor. And that ball's in the dirt, it gets away from Rikas, and Bowman will trot home.
And the wild pitch. With the wild pitch, now they've got another runner in scoring position with Bergie now down at second.
So the first time Speeden has looked vulnerable, we got a tie game. The Owls want more here. Taylor grounded out to first, his first time up. Looking to bunt, and he bunts one foul.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like he was committed to taking that bunt.
The ball came in about nose high, and he did a good job to fight it off.
Yeah, very defensive push at it. All right. One kill. And
that one goes over his head, gets away from Rikas, or it never even got to Rikas. So another wild pitch, and Bergie will take third. So Speeden now with in a bit of a jam.
Knights feel confident enough in their offense. She knows they are not bringing the infield in, outside, in at the corners, but
correct.
Definitely not at second and short. Maybe playing a little bit halfway.
Yeah,
looks like they're moving back.
They're conceding that run. If
they want to get out. That's going to be
shallow. Second baseman Bergie's running, and he gets in.
Wow.
Good base running by Bergie. Not too many sacrifice flies to second base, but we'll give that a sac fly.
But he did have Grimsley running the wrong direction for then throwing it to home plate.
Indeed. Grimsley did a good job to track that ball, but again, they were conceding the run anyway with a grounder up the middle, perhaps. So Grimsley had to make the catch, and then momentum, like Michael said, kind of carried him into the shallow outfield. Bergie's a fast runner, and he able to get home easy with a slide. And now it is Griffin Vincent, and the Owls suddenly lead 2-1.
Speeden, after looking almost invincible, and suddenly looking a lot more vulnerable, and the Owls smell blood in the water.
They've gotten to him here for 2 hits and 2 runs.
Also aided by 2 wild pitches.
There's only 1 out.
Now he's struggling a little bit to find the strike zone.
It's up again. Just like Denkenberger did. Now this happens to be Speeden's inning of a little bit of command issues.
You wonder if he walks and if the Century coaching staff wants to come out. All right,
pumps a strike in there.
A little bit of a fake bunt to try and throw him off. But, Century coaching staff might want to have a little bit of a reset and have a talk with him if he continues to struggle with finding the strike zone. But he brings it right back 3-2.
Owls didn't like that one, but full count. Frank Buberl, first base coach, not happy with that call. And there's strike 3. Team comes all the way back. Strikeout number 5. Maybe a big one, maybe a reset for Speed.
Yeah.
It was 3-0. He had him 3-0 there.
Landon Mansfield, catcher who's just done an outstanding job behind the plate today. And try and help his pitcher out a little bit, see if he can get on base.
Struck out the first time, struck out looking back in the second inning. And he fouls that ball back for strike one. Glad you're with us here for some baseball coverage. CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Oh, and it hit him, Mansfield off-speed pitch, hit him. And the Owls will take base runners any way they can get them.
And I have to think it's always it's always just further abuse when you hit a catcher, because the catchers take so much punishment as it is.
Well, look, the reward is you get run for courtesy runner.
Yeah, there is
Come in for the catcher, and it is number 10, Wyatt Sharp for Westminster. So Sharp is the courtesy runner for the catcher, and like you said, Coach Chris Poe will come out and talk with his ace pitcher, Chase Speeden. Could not be much of a better day for some baseball here, Mr. Duffy.
It is really beautiful, Pat.
Not many clouds that we can see here as we sit alongside the first base line. As we look out onto portions of Route 97, right behind Westminster Stadium. Just a nice day. It wasn't that long ago where we were still bundled up, and
I think that was last week.
It might have been earlier this week, for all I can remember, but you're right. I think it was. Mid-April usually is when things change.
Yeah, it was about a week ago. We were at Century, being glad we were in the booth for a lacrosse game.
Right, you are.
While everybody else was shivering in the wind on the sidelines.
8 days ago, so we have.
All right, Ryan Weinbrunner up with a runner on first and 2 outs.
2 outs now, right?
And Speeden pumps in a strike. Again, strike one, as I said, so important. It's just when you get it in the count.
Indeed. Strike two.
And looking over at the bullpen, looks like Burgee, who had been playing shortstop, is warming up for the Owls. Wonder if he'll be starting off the fifth on the mound.
We've got some pitchers, of course, listed as multiple positions. And foul tip into the glove.
And that gets the Knights out of it.
But 2 runs on 2 hits, and they do leave a runner, and the Owls, through 4 innings, have a 2-1 lead as we step aside from the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Don't go away. We got the last part of this game coming up for you. We're looking to be a good one. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We are into the top of the 5th. We're not going to say the thing you're not supposed to say in baseball parlance, but it's a nice day to watch a little bit of high-speed baseball as we head to the top of the 5th inning. The 2, 3, and 4 batters are due up for Century: Califano, Welsh, and Speeden.
Garrett Denkenberger still on the mound to start the 5th.
Right you are. Garrett Denkenberger is back out.
He's been in and out of trouble, but he has kept his team completely in it by giving up only that 1 run in the first.
And he starts off with strike 1.
And allowed the Owls an opportunity to get the bats going, and they have that 2-1 lead as we start the 5th.
Califano 0 for 2 today. And
takes strike 2. So Califano struck out looking in the second batter of the game, and then got grounded out in one of the great plays that Will Molman made in the second.
He ended the second, yeah. Oh, nice off-speed pitch. Strikeout number 5 for Denkenberger, who has pitched a really good game. And the way baseball goes, you've watched a lot of baseball like I have. Now he's the winning pitcher as record right now.
Yeah, he is.
We got a long way to go still, but it's a little bit upstairs for ball 1. But you know, high school baseball, you get to the 5th, you can start counting outs. You're 9 outs away. Now they're 8 outs away.
Ben Welsh has the lone run for the Knights today.
He skies one.
That is skied.
Bergie's racing out. Looks like it's going to be Cedeno and left. Look at that. Two quick outs. And Denkenberger. Really, again, he's given up 3 hits since the first, but since the first inning, a much better pitcher.
Yes.
When he struggled in the middle of that inning there. Jay Speeden coming up now. He's 2 for 2. So Speeden having a nice day.
And he has an opportunity to help his own cause.
2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 steals.
This ball, I guess, out. He's right just above the belt.
Speeden drove in the run, like you said. He's got 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. He takes a strike there, even up at 1-1. Strike two, yeah. Nice pitching here from Denkenberger here in the 5th. You'd never think he was laboring a little bit earlier, but certainly has settled down.
I think it's the first one to get by Mansfield. Didn't matter because...
Doesn't count.
Right, but I think it was the first one, period, that he didn't stop in front of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no wild pitch. No. It's ball, nothing, but just shows how well he's been stopping the ball today. All right.
2-2. And 2 outs. And the foul tip into the glove. Have a day landed Mansfield and Garrett Denkenberger with his 6th strikeout. And just like that, we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. And the Owls will come up 2-1. And we'll take a quick break on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. We are back. CMSportsNet Game of the Week, and we are headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be John Davia, and in the top of the order, Maddox Stoetzer and Jaden Cedeno to face Chase Speeden. Moving right along here as we head to the bottom of the 5th, and Westminster has the 2-1 lead.
Ball high. Says John Davia.
He struck out the first time. In the 3rd, struck out looking. One of Speeden's 6 strikeouts. And he fouls that one away. So that's what, 20 strikeouts now for Speeden over the last game plus. He pitched last Thursday, the 17th, against Man Valley. Had the 14 strikeouts and the no-hitter for the Knights. Another foul ball. We're getting to that point of the game, too, Michael, where we talked during the pregame. This is a big game.
Yep.
The winner of this game kind of sits in second place by themselves, and they get a chance to play Liberty again. And you start to feel a little bit of that tension here as both these teams want this win badly, and it's a 2-1 game.
And he takes another strike. Number number 7 for Chase Speed.
And to the top of the order again we go, and it's Maddox Stoetzer, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. But, you know, you just kind of, we're getting to these late innings. Like last night, you know, this was a year ago, of course, but that Liberty Century game was such back and forth runs. But it was still a big game. It was an important game for those rivals. And you had that same feeling here. The ball bouncing the dirt. But the way this is going, it's riding on these arms. Speeding for Century and Stoetzer, Denkenberger for Westminster. Stoetzer's at the plate. And he swings through a pitch, makes it 1-1. He's gone after that pitch a few times in the first 2 at-bats against Speeden, and Speeden's a smart guy. Give it to him again, see if he'll swing. That's strike 2. So we're seeing some quality pitching here, some top-notch pitching from both of these seniors.
Here's the 1-2. And
Got
foul
him.
Tip into the glove. Strikeout number 8.
Two outs, and that brings up Jaden Cedeno,
who's had 2 really good at-bats. Had a double and then a line out to center, but had a really good approach. He's had one of the best approaches on Speeden today.
He's hit the ball both times in almost the exact same spot. He lays off there for ball 1.
Two 2-0 count. Now he can narrow down what he's looking for.
Good pitch from Speed to get it to 2-1.
All right, evens it up 2-2.
2-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Speeden can potentially strike out the side here and be 4 strikeouts in a row and 5 in the last 6 if he can get Cedeno. Comebacker. Speed in. Gets him at first. So no strikeout, but a 1-2-3 is what Speeden wanted. And we have finished 5 innings.
To 6.
We're going to head to the top of the 6th. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. The CMSportsNet Game of the Week. All right, pitching change here, Mr. Duffy, as we get set for the top of the 6th inning. And it's Paul Berge, the shortstop, moves into the mound, so Denkenberger's day is done. We'll see who took over at short momentarily, but right now we know it's Paul Berge on the bump.
Yeah. Looks like it's Maddox Stoetzer has moved out to short, and Brandon Barrett is taken over at first.
Okay, yeah, so they can make some switches. Of course, with Taylor as the DH, they can move some guys around. We haven't seen Brandon Barrett today, so that makes sense. We'll keep an eye and see where they come up in the order, but I would think it would lead me to believe that Taylor's probably either went out in the field somewhere or he is switched out of the DH role.
Or he's just staying at the DH. You don't have to DH for the pitcher.
Fair enough.
You can DH for anybody.
And here is Hunter Elrod to lead off the top of the 6th, and Paul Berge is your new pitcher.
Elrod walked and stole a base in the 1st, and then grounded out to third base in the 3rd.
And the first pitch from Berge is upstairs for ball 1. There's a strike.
In the strike.
So Degenberger's done. And you mentioned, of course, Michael, pitch counts is a thing, and you got to make sure you've got guys giving them proper rest and things. So maybe this was the plan to have Degenberger try to go 5. That's ripped to right.
Nice shot.
That's going to get down. And Hunter Elrod is going to cruise into second base. Head first slide. I will call it a cruise after that, but it was a double nonetheless. Nice job in right field to go track the ball down.
Yeah, it was.
Lead-off double for Elrod is just what Century needed to start this 6th inning.
Yeah, Devia's out there and right, and definitely made it closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Elrod had to slide in head first, and he beat the throw, but still, I looked at that going to the corner and thought that was going to be a trot into second, and it was not. So credit to Devia for hustle.
The Knights with no outs now have the tying run in scoring position.
And it's Colin Grimsley at the plate.
He is squaring the bunt.
And he does bunt it back to the pitcher.
Right down to the pitcher.
Well done. Sacrifice the runner over to from second to third. That's good small ball. That's a 1-3 put out, and Grimsley will get some high fives from the dugout. The runner heads to third. And there's one out, and now Johnny Rikas, the catcher, will come up. That was a good job by Grimsley to sacrifice the runner over.
And you can see Westminster is bringing in the infield.
Indeed. Late in the game here.
Rikas has struck out and grounded out to third. And he takes a first pitch strike.
Good job by Berge to get the first strike. The way these teams hit the ball in all around the county and all around the area, you don't see too much small ball.
Right. And strike 2.
But a good job by Century in this moment to get the runner, that much closer where a fly ball could get a run home.
Yeah.
But Berge's ahead of him, 0-2. So Rikas hadn't swung the bat just yet.
And this is where Mansfield is so important, because how well he's played behind the plate.
No doubt.
But this is one of those things, as we saw on the other side, where a wild pitch can score a run.
Yes.
So you certainly got to be careful.
Indeed. 1-2 after that pitch. Grounder. Runner's coming home. Play at the plate.
And he is safe.
And he is safe. Elrod scores. It was a contact play. He scores on the fielder's choice. Shortstop Stoetzer came home rather with it, and Rikas will get courtesy run for. And we got a 2-2 game. So some small ball pays off, and the courtesy runner for the catcher Rikas is number 14, Braden Davis, another basketball player from the winter. But nice job there by Century to tie this game up. So one out, and here's Austin Schulz, who roped a double to right his last time up, but was stranded out there after Degenberger got 2 fly ball outs.
And off goes Davis on the very first pitch.
And did not get a great jump.
He did not, but a great throw by Mansfield.
And Davis slow to get up, but yes, good job.
Let's go, get your end.
Another good job by the catcher. Didn't see if it was a ball or strike, did you?
I did not.
I think it might have been a ball.
It was a ball.
No, thank you.
It was caught stealing 2-6.
Yep.
Mansfield to Stoetzer.
If you're keeping score at home.
There you go.
But a big out. That's
Absolutely.
a big out. Because if he steals there, you got a runner in scoring position, and Schulz has some pop in his bat.
It's 2-0 count.
Berge throwing pretty hard. But yes, falling behind here, 2-0. But Century is on the board again, first time since the first inning.
It's going to be fouled back. Yeah, the fielder's choice by Rikas, which scored Elrod, was not hit hard enough out to short to really get the play.
Even with the infield drawn in.
Infield was drawn in, but it was still just not. I think it had been a little bit harder. I think he probably makes it a much closer play. Probably gets
fair.
him, but I don't think it was hit hard enough to do it. All right, 3-1 count.
But credit Elrod for going right off the crack of the bat.
Or the clean of the bat.
Well, it's still a crack.
Technically, it's a crack. I'm not sure about that.
All right. You don't like that call. All right. Ball four to Scholes. Yep.
On the base on ball. And Ryan Evans comes up.
Who has a double himself back in the second inning.
And then lined out to left. All right, 2 outs. Runner on first. Maybe.
And Scholes.
Looks like they are going with courtesy runner for Scholes.
Scholes is first base, so.
No, take it back, not courtesy runner, pinch runner.
We're going to have a pinch runner here. Scholes wanted to stay in. He said, I got wheels. I can run this. I can run here, but it is Liam Hanfman, correct, number 3. Scholes didn't want to get taken out there, but Hanfman will come in to run with 2 outs. And there's Evans, takes a strike. Like Michael mentioned, he's 1 for 2. He had a double back in the second, got stranded there too. 1 out double, and then a line out to short and a ground out with that nice play that Molman made. So there have been some great plays on both sides of the diamond here today on defense. That one bounced in. Another great job by
Mansfield has really done a great job of being just a stone wall back there. 1-1. 1-1 count.
And all these runners now are going to be crucial in this game.
That one does get behind him.
If you say it too many times, you're going to jinx the young man. But
that does put Liam Hanfman in scoring position for Ryan Evans with a 2-1 count.
He can't stop them all.
He's done a great job of stopping a lot of them.
And timeout, I believe. Brandon Taylor, head coach, will come out to talk to Paul Bergie and his infielders.
One of the things he wants to make sure he tells them is, even if they can't make the play, keep the ball in the infield, because anything to the outfield will likely score a run. Hampton was brought in specifically for his speed.
Right.
So I think what he wants to remind him, his infield, is even if you can't get that out, keep the ball in front of you, keep it down, and then we'll go after the next one.
Yeah, and again, I'll say again, Evans has hit the ball hard to left field both times. So.
Yes.
Sure, that was part of this speech there that Coach Taylor talked to his boys about here, as it's 2-1 count with 2 outs and a runner at second after that wild pitch that the first time Mansfield couldn't quite get his glove on. Hot.
Straight to Stoetzer.
Short.
Throws him out to Parrott.
But the tying run has come to the plate for Century. And we are headed to the bottom of the 6th, and we will take a quick break, but we will be right back with the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. This one's getting good. All right, welcome back, and another pitching change as we get set for the bottom half of, the top of the 7th.
Nope, we're bottom of 6th.
Oh, you're right, bottom of the 6th. I'm on the wrong page. I'm all confused, but it is pitching change, and it is
Chris Rowinski
correct.
is on the mound for Century. He's a junior with a 1.61 ERA. He's got 7 strikeouts in only 8 2/3 innings.
See, what I was doing here was I was making the pitching change, and I was staying with the Century's lineup. I'm just trying to defend myself. It's not embarrassing.
You're good.
I do know what I'm doing.
No doubt
most of the time. Big spot here, and Will Molman will lead off for the Owls. So 3, 4, 5 hitters. Great chance for Westminster here.
Absolutely.
With a new pitcher, too. Rowinski, 8 2/3 this year, 7 strikeouts and a 1.61 ERA. So a good relief pitcher for the Knights.
So we saw some great pitching by both starters, and neither one will factor into the decision today.
That's correct.
And Will Molman takes a pitch outside, high and outside, ball 1.
Didn't quite get the zone. It's 2-0. Roping some balls in batting practice before we started tonight, but he swings through that one.
Big cut and comes up empty. 2 balls and a strike.
Having a fine senior year, or junior year. Oh, no, he is the senior. I get him and Charlie mixed up. Charlie's the junior, the basketball player. Having a fine year is Will Molman, and he hits one foul down the first base line. So 2-2.
Counts even 2-2.
So we saw him contribute very much so to the Westminster basketball team as part of their county championship. And 2-2 is the count here against Rowinski. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch by Rowinski, and there's one out.
That brings up now the pitcher, Paul Berge. One out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Berge 1 for 2. He had a single in the 4th and scored a run. The tying run. Or excuse me, the go-ahead run at the time. And there's a strike.
Take strike 1.
Yeah, he scored the go-ahead run. They took that 2-1 lead in the 4th inning. And Century has come back to tie things up.
A little bit out in front of that.
That was going to be a tough play, and Berge is on.
Grounder down to 3rd. A little bit of a bobble down there by Ethan Baker, and Berge's on.
So Chase Taylor still in. And he fouls one away.
Straight back.
We giving Berge a hit for that last one?
I think it was too much of a bobble. I think it, as much as I hate to do that to the defender, I think it's an error.
Either way, Berge is on for the 2nd time today. I'm going to agree with you on that.
Takes ball high, so 1-1 count.
Baker did come in and charge, and when he had his, it was right in front of us, Berge wasn't even halfway on the line yet, so I think if Baker made the grab, he has a chance to throw him out, so. That's going to stay inside. Yeah, and Scholes has
foul territory.
Big out. That's a big out for Rowinski.
Yep.
Chris Rowinski, Jr.
Griffin Vincent now with 2 outs and a runner on first. And as noticing, Paul Berge's really not getting much of a lead at all. He's starting to extend a little bit. Oh, and there he goes. And
He is safe.
He's in there. So just as you said, he wasn't getting a big lead. That was
he
all part of the plan.
He started to extend that lead.
And was the pitch to Vincent. That's a big play. We'll see here. Vincent has a chance to drive a run in. Skied up. It's probably going to get out of play. Oh, no, it's not. Nice catch. So the third baseman, Baker, makes up for it indeed in foul territory, a basket catch. Wow.
And we head to the top of the 7th, all tied up at 2.
We'll take another break as we head to the top of the last inning, but we are still tied 2-2. Come on back with us to the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. All right, another new pitcher for Westminster. It's Luke Rohde, and he is pitching the top of the 7th. What are the specs on Luke, Michael?
Sophomore southpaw. So we'll see how sophomore left-hander for the Owls.
Quite a spot.
Yeah.
Top of the order for Century. And you just mentioned the top 3 guys combined 0 for 9, but it is the top of the order, and the first pitch to Baker is a swinging strike. So good start for the young man, Rohde. Baker 0 for 3. We mentioned the winner of this game will be in second place by themselves, and each of these teams gets a crack at first place Liberty still before the season comes to an end.
He's outside on that one, 2-1 count.
A big time moment here for this 10th grader.
Absolutely.
Kind of fisted the first, and it's a foul ball.
Not by
it was
much,
close, yeah, but it was called foul by the home plate umpire. It was going to be an out regardless. But Baker has life now, 2-2 in a 2-2 game.
Isn't that always the way he makes an incredible basket catch to end the inning and gets to lead off the next?
I think we had Molman do that a couple innings ago. Made a nice play, and then he serves this one into center, right center, and it's down, and it gets not quite to the wall, and it's going to hold him to a single. But how about that? He almost grounds out the first. He gets life on the foul ball, and he ropes, or I'll say he laces a single in the right center.
Yeah, and a great play by Griffin Vincent to hold him to that.
Indeed. Had the looks of it, might get to the wall, but Vincent hustled over to cut off the gap, and Evans is aboard
First hit from the top three in
Baker,
the order.
rather. My fault. I said Evans.
And then Califano goes sacrifice bunt.
He does his job. Another 1-3 sacrifice play.
Now with one out, they've got a runner in scoring position with Welsh and Speeden coming up.
So Baker singles, Califano sacrificed him to second, and now it is Ben Welsh, who did score the first run of the game back in the first inning, but he is 0 for 3. Reached on an error, grounded to third, and fly out to left. And Evans, Welsh rather, sends one to center. Makes the catch, nice catch.
Nice catch by Griffin Vincent. And Baker tags up and gets to third.
So one pitch and a big mighty swing from Ben Welsh, and it goes to, we'll call that the warning track out there. And
it was deep right. It was deep right center.
Deep right center indeed.
And Griffin Vincent made the play. Now brings up Chase Speeden with a runner at third and 2 outs. Again, Mansfield becomes oh so important back here, and Westminster calls timeout. Coach Brandon Taylor wants to have a conversation on the mound again.
He was out of the dugout while Rhodey was into the windup, or at least in the stretch, but time was called. So big moment in the game here. And smart by Taylor to go out there and talk to his guys.
Yeah, big at bat for both pitcher and hitter.
Both these teams.
And Coach Taylor wants to make sure everybody's calm and relaxed. Go over, everybody's responsibilities. Coach Chris Powell talking with his team.
Right out past the bag at third, talking to the runner, talking to the hitter, and also the on-deck batter. But the game is right here between Rhodey and Speeden. Speeden's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. A single here would give Century the lead. He fouls it down the first base.
Foul down the right field line. And now it's 0-1.
Speeden trying to look like he was trying to serve that to right, dump it over the first baseman's head.
Rhodey looks in for a sign.
Lefty against righty.
Just a little outside.
Good pitch from Rhodey, but yes, it didn't quite find the strike zone.
Looking off speed, outside.
I like
1-1 count.
I like the look of Rhodey, how he approaches here from the left side. And he's got a little lankiness to him. That's high.
Ball squirts away from Mansfield, but not far enough. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rhodey, we were talking earlier about how Enkenberger has a long pause. Rhodey does not have that. He gets set and goes.
That is true.
And strike 2.
Yeah, good pitch by Rhodey.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third. You can see what I mean. It's quick, gets a sign, comes set, and he's ready to go.
And a strike 3, swing and a miss.
Wow. Big moment for the sophomore.
Century leaves the go-ahead run at third. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 2-2 game. We'll be right back after this. All right, we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and we are tied. Century 2, Westminster 2.
Landon Mansfield's going to lead off for the Owls. Chris Owinski still on the mound for his second inning of work.
And it's the 7, 8, 9 batters due up here for the Owls. Mansfield, Weinbrunner, and Davia. And Lewinsky for his second inning of work. First pitch in the left field for a base hit. I want to give him a hit there.
That was definitely a solid hit.
Hard one for Baker to field.
Definitely. My guess is that, yeah, Mansfield is not going to be the guy running at first.
Correct. Mansfield got the job done. Leadoff single.
The runner will be Wyatt Sharp.
Yep, it was Sharp earlier when Mansfield got on, hit by a pitch in the fourth, and the courtesy runner was Sharp. So here we go. We'll see if Westminster plays some small ball with the winning run at first base and no outs.
And Ryan Weinbrunner up the bat.
And they do.
He does.
And Weinbrunner lays down a beauty. Nice job by Weinbrunner. Sacrifices the runner. We've seen 3 of those in this game now. And this would be some nice revenge for John Davia, who has struck out looking twice today. But he's got a chance.
Got a chance to be the hero.
To be the hero indeed. The winning run is at second base. Davia, the number 9 batter, as Westminster's dugout making some noise, trying to get that winning run across. And instead,
Rowinski wheels, but decides not to throw.
Nobody at the base either, but don't have to throw in that situation.
Grimsley was creeping in a little bit. Now he was back.
That's outside.
Ball outside.
I think that was the first pitch that didn't get made contact with the bat. Had Mansfield going after the first pitch, and then Weinbrunner bumped it over the first pitch.
Grimsley creeping in again, and he backs off.
Foul back.
Foul back. 1-1 count.
Hey, nice and simple, a lot of confidence, Johnny. Have fun. I'll take it.
Sharp needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get too far. He wants to get a good lead. He wants to get a very good secondary lead, but he doesn't want to get so far off that either he gets picked off or he hits a liner. 1-1 count from Lewinsky. Ball inside.
2-1.
He has got a good hitter's count.
A little bit low.
3-1 count. See Sharp getting his lead off the second. Really not making much of a play towards him. Takes strike 2.
Good pitch by
Rowinski had a nice pitch with a 3-1 count. He's got a full count. See what Davia's got. Sharp taking his lead from second.
ripped down the third base line with foul.
Way out in front of that one.
By the way, that hit by Mansfield, the first hit for Westminster since the 4th inning.
Wow. And
only their 4th hit of the game.
All right. So Davia's got another chance, 3-2, as does Rowinski.
Payoff pitch. And a big strikeout. Big time strikeout by Rowinski.
Turn the lineup over with 2 outs. Maddox Stoetzer has his chance to be the hero. Maddox has 2 strikeouts, and he did walk in the 3rd. And Rowinski steps off.
Ground ball to short.
And that will send us to extra innings.
So the Knights get a runner, or the Owls rather, get a runner at second, but cannot get him home. And we are headed to extra innings. Stay with us. We'll take a little pause and come back for the top of the 8th right after this. Guess what, Michael? Extra innings.
All right.
2-2, top of the 8th.
And Luke Rohde's still on the mound. And leading off is Hunter Elrod for the Knights.
He doubled in the 6th rather, and scored the tying run. That was against Paul Burgee, but now he'll face Rohde. And first pitch strike from Rohde. This is Rohde's second inning of work.
Yeah, he had a good 7th inning.
Outside. Dinkenberger went 5. Burgee pitched the 6th. Rohde pitched the 7th, and he is out there to start the 8th. A little off speed, but a little high.
3-1.
Yeah, I had 2-1.
Okay, I think you're right. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. That's 3-1.
Correct.
I was just early.
Yeah, foreshadowing. Again, just as every extra inning game, these at-bats, these 3-1 counts, 3-2 counts, big moments in this game. Ooh, nice pitch. And we've run it full. Rohde still pitching from the stretch, and he's still exhibiting that quick motion. Elrod stays alive.
Fights off a tough pitch.
Yeah, I like the way Rohde has approached this so far. That's only a 10th grader, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Probably scoring the roster they gave us.
Elrod goes down and gets one into right center. That's going to get between the right fielder and the center fielder. And Hunter Elrod has his second straight double.
Yes, he does. And I got to figure Johnny Rikas is bunting.
What makes you say that?
I think they're going to play for a run. Call me crazy.
It's actually going to be Grimsley first.
You're right. Sorry,
you're right.
Grimsley's
Same thing, but looks like Taylor's coming out, and maybe we'll see a change here. Great hit, great piece of hitting by Hunter Elrod.
Really
Went down to get it and just served it out there in the right center. Nice hit. He's got 2 doubles. He's been on base 3 times. It's a nice game for senior Hunter Elrod, number 17. Long visit here. See what they're going to do. Now they're going to stay with Rohde.
I think it's just talking about strategy. You're right. It is Colin Grimsley. I was getting ahead of myself.
That's okay. I mean, there's strategy here too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
he went sacrifice 1-3 the last time we were in this situation 2 innings ago.
He offered for it, and whoa! Oh, Elrod was 2/3 of the way to third, had to retreat.
But nobody at second because of the wheel play.
Correct. So nobody out. This one goes foul.
Grimsley's put himself in a hole down 0-2.
Now we'll see. I mean, traditionally you don't bunt here on 2 strikes because if you bunt it foul, you're out. They trust him to do it. He did it in the 6th inning. I'd be surprised if he doesn't offer again here. That run is critical for Century.
I think he might not be.
Okay. No, you're right.
Fouls it off down the first baseline.
You're right. 0-2.
I would have thought maybe on the second pitch with the wheel play, he might have taken a more conventional swing while everybody's running out of position. But I understand the rationale behind trying for the bunt.
Sorry.
1-2. Brody exhibiting some frustration with the call, but certainly looked like it was inside.
Every one of these pitches is a big deal at this stage of the game. 2-2 is the count.
Here it comes.
That's roped to center. That gets down. They're going to wave in Elrod. The play is coming to the plate. Not in time. He gets away from Mansfield. Grimsley stays put. Colin Grimsley was 0-2 in that count. And an RBI single puts Century up 3-2. Still nobody out.
All right. Grimsley at first. Brody still on the mound, and here comes Johnny Regas. Question is, will he bunt, or are they going to try for some insurance? And the answer is yes.
So there's another sac bunt. Pitcher Rhodey throws him out.
Puts Grimsley in scoring position.
It does for Austin Scholes.
He roped a double at the top of the 4th.
He did, but he was stranded there.
His other 2 plate appearances, he has a walk and a strikeout.
Takes the ball upstairs, 1-0. So like Michael said, Century trying to add an insurance run because you know Westminster will be coming up guns blazing with 2, 3, 4 in the order due up. And that means we'll see Will Molman in the 8th, but right now it's still Scholes in the box. 2-0 is the count against Luke Rhodey.
Gets the strike call. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Rhodey gets one back.
Took an extended pause before that pitch.
First one in a while.
Yeah. 3 balls, 1 strike to Austin Scholes. Swing and strike.
Waved at that one, yep.
All right, full count.
1 out, and Colin Grimsley out at second base.
Lefty on lefty. Scholes
fouled that one away.
Gets a piece of it to stay alive.
Cedeno, Molman, and Burgee due up in the bottom of the 8th for Westminster, and we will see who Century counters with on the mound. Scholes grounds a foul to first.
We'll also see if we have a 3-2 game or more than
correct.
3. The Century still only has the one out with the runner in scoring position. Austin Scholl's back for another 3-2 count.
He's battling here against Luke Rohde. And Rohde gets
the K.
Another big out. Pitchers have gotten some big outs in this game with runners in scoring position. It's been a pretty tight game. Just the one miscue there at third base earlier in the game. Other than that, with a couple control problems here and there, it's been a good game. Both teams with an error apiece, and there's a strike called on Ryan Evans. I think I have that right, just the one error aside, right?
I believe that is the case.
Baker made one for Century, and I think Molman had one.
Molman had one the first.
And that time speared by Molman. Century takes the lead in the top of the 8th, but the Owls have a chance. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Don't go away. We're coming right back. All right, the Owls have one final at bat here, at least to try to tie the game or win the game in the 8th. But they need to score a run to do it. At least they can keep the game going.
But they've got the part of the order they won up right now with Cedeno, Molman, and Berge.
And it is Rowinski. His 3rd inning of work here. Cedeno sticks his bat out, and he lines the ball into center field just like that. The Owls had the leadoff man on. Nice job by Cedeno.
Yep, just got bat to ball. Have to imagine Will Molman is not bunting. Call it a,
you gonna call that one? You calling that one?
Yeah. My guess is he may take a pitch and see if Cedeno can get a good enough lead and go running. Because it would be much better. They certainly would rather have Will Molman Will Molman up with a runner in scoring position than a runner on first. Coach Chris Poe is going to go out and talk with his defense, sort out what their game plan is going to be. All right, that meeting on the mound is over. We've got a runner on first.
What do you think they talked about the most right there with the dangerous batter up with in the form of Will Molman? You don't want to put him on base, obviously. You don't put the tying run at second, but
certainly, I think there's a couple things they're talking about. One, my guess is, do you want to pitch out? Because you have, I think you might consider that Cedeno's going on the very first pitch, which he is clearly not, and Molman takes a strike.
A little bit of a slide step, too. Slide pitch there from Rowinski. Nice job. And Molman, who struck out back in the 6th. And that was against Rowinski, so.
Rowinski steps off. Cedeno scampers back to first. He's got a modest lead. And strike 2 on Molman. Looks like he was swinging for the fences to end the game. On one swing, it came up empty. All right. Molman's now down 0-2. Here comes the pitch from Rowinski. Cedeno not going.
Molman sends it in the air to left.
Deep to left.
A little bit of an adventure out there, but making the catch is Evans. I think Evans is still out there.
It does look like it's still Evans.
So a big out there for Century. One out now, and Paul Burgee, the batter.
All right, looks like Century may be conceding the runner in scoring position to play defense because, nope, Scholes does come back in.
Upstairs to Burgee.
Scholes was playing well behind Cedeno and then came in.
I saw that. Wonder if that might have been a mistake.
As Rawinski was starting his delivery. And now Scholes is on.
Cedeno didn't take advantage of it.
No, he didn't.
Either Century got away with one or they played a little cat and mouse there. And Burgee swings for a strike.
Cedeno's still not moving off first.
1-1. Sun's starting to fade back behind the school building. Still got plenty of daylight left, but Century trying to end this thing now. Burgee foul ball that time. Brandon Tiller makes the stab. Nice job, Coach.
Nice play by Coach Taylor. And fired it right back to Rawinski. Got to give credit when the first and third base coaches make their plays.
You have to.
Absolutely.
And you have to tease them when they don't. Rawinski's ahead, 1-2.
With his lead. Not going.
Burgee fouls it off.
Gets a piece of it. Very more of a, protect
defensive
himself.
Swing,
Quite defensive, flat-footed. Didn't have much into it, but stayed alive.
Indeed he did.
There's Rawinski with the pitch.
Grounded to third. Got him at second, but could not get Burgee at first. But a big play there. They got the lead runner.
All right, fielder's choice.
And that'll bring up Chase Taylor.
Fielder's choice 5-4. And Chase Taylor is the last hope for the Owls right now.
Smart play there by Baker to go to second. He had time.
Absolutely.
They almost got a chance for double play, but Burgee did beat it out, and he is at first, so the Owls still have the tying run on base, but now there are 2 outs.
Takes the ball in high and inside.
A little inside, yeah. Taylor grounded out the first, sacrifice fly, scored a run to the second baseman in the fourth, and fouled out to the first baseman in the sixth.
Burgee not going.
Nice off-speed pitch.
Taylor takes strike 1.
Century trying to get to 9-4 and 6-2 in county play. Liberty sitting in first place at 7-1.
Strike 2.
Their last strike. A couple nice pitches there from Rawinski.
Yes, it is. All right. See what Taylor's game plan is against Rawinski. See what Rawinski's throwing.
And he got him, strike 3. He lost his hat, and he strikes out Taylor to end the game for Century. Chris Rawinski throws 3 innings of relief, and he gets the win. And Hunter Elrod with a leadoff double in the 8th that scored the run on Colin Grimsley's single.
Leadoff double in the 6th that scored the game-tying run. And a walk and a stolen base in the 1st. 2 for 3 on the deck. Good game by Hunter Elrod.
Absolutely. Century wins it. Final score, Knights 3, Owls 2.
In extras.
In extra innings, and Century is the sole
in sole possession
team,
of second place.
Correct, in second place.
In the Carroll County Athletic League.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left in that 8th inning for Westminster. Well, Michael, it was the first time we did this. It was 10-9 with a host of home runs and runs aplenty, and pitching was a bit of a challenge today. Two really good performances on both sides, from the starters and the bullpen.
Yeah, it was definitely a pitcher's duel, much more than the last time you and I worked together. But really just some great situational pitching, some good defense. I mean, 2 errors. Again, yeah, they're errors, but not. I mean, overall, really good defense, some good running catches.
Right.
Some great play. Mansfield behind the plate for Westminster just did a great job of stonewalling almost everything. Outstanding catching. But somebody's got to win one of these games. Somebody's got to lose them. And you tip your hat to Century, because
no doubt,
they made the plays when they needed to. They got ahead early, gave up the lead, had to come back.
Yeah.
And then got the win in extras. Lots of sacrifice bunts today.
If you're a small ball fan, it was a good one.
Absolutely. So, fun game to watch.
It was, no doubt. And real quick in the 8th inning, Elrod doubles right away. He got the runner in scoring position. I believe Colin Grimsley fell behind 0-2 in that at bat.
He did.
Got it back to 2-2.
2 bad bunts.
Yes. And then we thought, was he going to bunt again to get him over? He didn't. Get him to third. Instead, he serves the ball into center field, gets a single. Elrod scores, and they take the lead there in the 8th. And then Rowinski, great job by Rowinski. Chase Speeden pitched a good game, but they went to Rowinski in the 6th. He tosses the 6th, 7th, and 8th and gets the victory today. So a good job by Century to get into second place all by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Just now they've put themselves in at least to have an opportunity to, get in a better shot to potentially win a county or tie for the county lead.
Right.
When next time they play Liberty, obviously they can't have any more missteps along the way, but they've given themselves a chance, which I think is all they would have asked to have.
And I believe they get the Lions later this week, if I'm not mistaken. I talked to Coach Larry Grimsley, the assistant coach. I thought he said they play them Thursday, but either way, or maybe Friday. But either way, they've got them coming up very soon. So 3-2 your final score. We're going to talk to the CMSportsNet player of the game, but before we do, I just want to say thanks again to Michael Duffy.
Thanks, Pat.
Always fun to call baseball with you, and thanks for joining me here on the Game of the Week. So a quick break. We'll get ourselves settled and situated. We'll come back and talk to the CMSportsNet player of the game and wrap things up for Westminster.
CMSportsNet Player of the Game is brought to you by Genovas to Go and by
the CMSportsNet player of the game. It's Hunter Elrod of Century. 2 doubles, scored the game-winning run. Got on base 3 times. Congratulations on a great game, Hunter. Just take me back before we talk about the game itself, the 8th inning. You led off. What'd you want to do? Obviously, you want to get on base. Were you thinking about anything right off the bat? You had just doubled the inning, but last time up. But what'd you see? And take me through that at bat.
Yeah, I was just going up there trying to get on base, obviously. But that pitch before, fastball was there. I missed it. Should have swung at it, and just something in my head was I got to do something for the guys. So I saw another one. I didn't miss it. You got on base there, so the leadoff runner's on, and you guys are in command there. And then Colin goes down 0-2. He got the bunt down the first time around. You're watching him out there at second. For him to get that ball and serve it into center field, what was that like? That was huge. Yeah. Just a huge play. I mean that's all. If he doesn't get that down, he's out. That's all you need to say. That's huge. Right. All great job. Yeah. Amazing job. This game was a pitcher's game early on. You know, Denkenberger for them, it struggled with the command early on, but he got it going. Speed was great. And, then Chris Winsky comes in and throws 3 relief innings. So huge. Talk about him and what he did for you guys. So huge. He's been great for us all year. I mean, he's just pounding the zone, throwing strikes. I mean, it's all you need to do. And we trust him. We love him, and just need him to keep doing his thing. When you guys played about 3 weeks ago, it was a cold day at your guys' place, and I think they put it on you. Yep, Is that something you remember? Because you know you're going to get him again. Obviously, it's a long way since then, but still, you remember, hey, that didn't feel good. We want to make sure we get them on their field. 100%. Yeah, we remember that. I mean, coming into even yesterday at practice, we're thinking about it, and we just want to give it right back to them. Yeah. And you did that, and that sets up a game Friday, I believe, against Liberty. It'll be a battle for first place. You guys looking forward to that one? 100%. You always are when you play Liberty, excited. Right? Yep. Yeah. We're ready to get one this time. We talk about that rivalry in other sports, too. Then the baseball teams have done the same. Last year, we did your guys' game 10-9. I think was a great game. But still, what is it about the game? Those teams, you guys grow up together. You know each other so well. Right. It's a rivalry that we talk about a lot, but it really almost – it transcends all the sports. It's got to be just extra fun to play those guys. Yeah, it is fun. I mean, you know everybody on the other team. You're friends with everybody, but it's just, you just want it that much more. They're the rivals, but I mean, you just want to beat your friends, man. I mean, it comes down to it. It's just a game. You want to have fun. You want to beat your friends. What's the team makeup of this, the chemistry you think so far this year? As we're getting into almost May, hard to believe. Playoffs are right around the corner. What's the feeling with these guys? Forget about Liberty right now. Just how are you feeling as you try to make a push here in the playoffs? We feel great. I mean, got off to a slow start, but as of lately, we've been playing real good baseball, and we're confident playing some good teams, and we just want to keep it rolling, keep doing what we're doing, because we feel real good right now. One last thing. We'll go back to last week. Speed throws that no-hitter with 14 strikeouts. What's it like playing behind a guy like that? Oh, it's amazing. I mean, go out there. Right? It feels great. I mean, he's just, you know he's going to go out there and do good. You just got to be ready for it. Hunter, congrats on a great game, man. Appreciate it. Stay with me for a second. That's Hunter Elrod, the CMSportsNet player of the game. That'll do it for the game of the week here, our baseball game of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to Michael Duffy for joining me on the broadcast. Also, thanks to Westminster AD Brian Tomes for helping us get the game together, and both coaches, Century's Chris Poe and Westminster's Brandon Taylor, for their pregame information, Larry Grimsley as well. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, and you can also visit our website, cmsportsnet.com, and you can watch us on cable channel HD 1072. So for Hunter Elrod and Michael Duffy, I'm Pat Stoetzer saying have a good rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go, Carroll Links, Carroll Indoor Sports Center, and Absolute Landscapes.
Hungry? Genova's To Go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's To Go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's To Go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's To Go. Genova's To Go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's To Go.
There's a lot about Sarah and Tara that's exactly alike. They drink the same coffee, they have the same great job, and they both have a high-quality education. The only difference? Sarah spent her first 2 years at Carroll Community College, getting the same exceptional education, but at less than half the cost. So while Tara uses her paycheck to make student loan payments, Sarah can use hers for other things, like going out for coffee. Get started at carrollcc.edu.
Carroll Indoor Sports Center, celebrating its 30th season. 66,000 square feet of fields and courts. Rain or shine, multiple soccer and lacrosse leagues, artificial turf fields and courts to rent. Party rooms and snack bar available. Summer camp for the kids. Safe indoor environment for athletes of all ages. Carroll Indoor Sports Center. Your sport, anytime.
At Absolute Landscape, we believe that a great landscape is about transforming a space to exceed every expectation. From intricate hardscapes to lush green gardens, our goal is to bring vision to life. Creating outdoor environments for our clients, we offer services from design to installation and maintenance of your outdoor space. Enjoyment all year round is what Absolute Landscapes is all about.